Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
I feel like I haven't seen you in, I don't know, 24 hours?
Has it been that long?
It's been that long. I don't even know what the heck we're going to talk about.
I
Do
don't
you?
know. We are under a tornado warning, though. Just,
Oh,
for everyone.
okay. So if you cut out, I'm just cutting off. I am not holding down the fort here all by my lonesome.
You're not? You're not gonna just
Well,
take over the whole
I don't
podcast?
know. I might just get in complete and utter shock and just keep talking like I'm hoping that you're going to come back. Maybe that's what will happen,
I don't know
right?
because I'm recording this to my computer. So I think if I cut out, you would still be on Zoom, but I don't
Yeah.
think it would be
No, you
recording.
you'd probably be blacked out. Like it would
Yeah,
probably be,
but I don't
yeah.
think it would record anymore either.
Oh, this is stunning content for our
I
people.
mean, any anybody want to
How
weigh
are
in?
we not viral by now? I don't get
I
it.
mean, for the sheer fact that we don't know what the heck we're doing, we should be viral on that alone.
I mean,
Look, look at these clouds.
the people that are talking about boobies and this and that and whatever, like God, they're just flying off the handle. Us, not so
No,
much.
not so much. Oh, look, it's my turn with the hair.
That's okay. You know what? I'm waiting for my NOSE. I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't want my NOSE to know I'm talking about it.
That's so funny. Uh,
Yeah. So I'm sorry to hear you're under that. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if we did have one, so Lori and I were joking before we came on. If we did have one, my room already looks like a tornado hit it, so maybe it would put everything back.
yeah.
Okay, and don't come at me. I've been through a tornado. I know how destructive they are. We can make light of situations. Just saying,
Oh,
people want to come at you for everything nowadays.
right.
You're
Am I
so
right
right.
or am I wrong?
Yeah,
This is what I've been whining about for what feels like forever.
but it's true. You say
It's
you're
so
so
true.
insensitive, blah, 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 blah. I have been through a tornado and they are horrible. I've said 1,000 times. I would go through a hurricane before a tornado any day of the week, but I can make jokes.
Well, sometimes you have to make light of
Yes.
a tough situation to get through it, right?
Yeah, because they
It's
really,
not
it does
doesn't
stress me out.
it doesn't mean you're insensitive and it doesn't mean all the things. So
I mean, I
I
am
hope
a
that
pretty insensitive person, but that's not what this is about.
well, okay, but let's narrow the insensitivity down a little bit to
Okay.
hurricanes and what do you call them? Typhoons?
No, we
What
don't
is
have
it?
typhoon,
Okay.
tornadoes and hurricanes.
Tornadoes. I knew it had started with a T, but I forgot already. See? Oh, that rhymed.
Oh, look at, write it down, hurry.
I haven't even had a drink. I'm
Have you had
rhyming.
coffee?
I've had a half a coffee and then, you know, something happened in between that I won't discuss. And then I had to go open for the club. And then I left and, you know, well, I had some paperwork to do for the trip. I had to, do that kind of stuff. And no, I haven't. Look, that was a really long story to say, no, I've had a half a coffee. That's really where I should have left it. But no, not Lori. I think there's something wrong with my spider plant. Next subject. I found a stink bug in my room again.
Mm-mm. Oh, it's okay. Kitty found a giant wood roach in the house the other day.
Oh, Lord, that sounds so disgusting. A wood roach.
Yeah, they're the ones
Like,
that live
you've got
outside. They're
so
about
many
that big.
roaches in Texas that you got to call it by like a wood roach versus a
Well,
steel
it's
roach
a
versus
tree
a
wood steel.
like
Yeah, we have robot roaches
like
here.
what the heck?
No. But the tree roaches are like the really big ones
Yeah.
that fly.
Oh, see these fly,
Mm-hmm.
but they're right now they're slow as a, you know,
Because it's so cold.
MF. Um, but I seen them down walking by my my vintage books. I think he was trying to find a home in those books pages,
Mm.
but I caught him just in time. And then I gave him a what for and said, I'm sorry for passing you on to the next realm of your life, but goodbye.
I couldn't catch this one in time to kill it, so it's roaming around somewhere.
I'm surprised your cats don't go crazy with that.
Well, Kenny was trying to get Lacey. Bandit doesn't go crazy for anything. She's just a fat, lazy cat. Lacey would have, because Lacey's been chasing a fly in the living room for like 2 days. So, but we couldn't get her in time. Anyway, this has zero to do with our topic for today.
No, I'm kind of excited about this topic, not gonna lie.
All right. What's our
Our
topic?
to I'll say it
Yeah,
today.
say it today.
Only because I put a little bit of lippy gloss on, so I think, uh, I'm
Take
pretty enough to say the title. Okay, you ready, everybody? We are talking about crafting on a budget. Ooh, that's a big subject for
Ooh,
a
it
lot of
is,
us, right?
especially now.
Yeah. So I when I looked the other day on what our topic was, I got kind of excited. I thought, oh, this is good. It's something I don't have to whine about. I feel like I'm all happy today because I've got nothing to complain about yet.
All right, wait for it, guys.
Yeah, wait for it. Wouldn't be a podcast without Lorie sniveling. Anyway,
All
how do you want
right,
to start?
you start.
Okay, I'm going to start by saying this. There's a couple things I wanted to say. Now I have to kind of look at my notes a little bit, so everybody just calm down. I want to I want to bring up the fact that crafting is fun, decorative planning is fun, all those things are fun. The the problem we have as crafters is the collecting part. We
The FOMO.
collect, yeah, we collect until our brains fall out, and then we have so much of it, we don't use it. And if we do want to use it, we don't even know we have it because I'm literally talking about myself. I've got so many baskets and shelves and of stuff I've collected, and quite frankly, when I go to do a project, I do not have the time or the desire to go through everything in my office to put together something. And so, the reason for that spiel is yes, we're crafters, but we're collectors. And I want to just say, just because we're saying these places to go and things to do, keep in mind your own budgets, your own, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, I could tell you places to go all the time, but it might not be in your budget. So, everybody keep in mind what we say as kind of our experience does not need to be yours. That's all I was going to say, Steph.
Okay. Sorry, I had to write something down or I'd forget.
Oh, I thought you were looking at your progress report of the
Tornadoes, no.
typhoon. Oh, tornadoes. Dear
Typhoons
Lord.
happen in
I,
the Orient. They
yes,
don't
I get
happen
it. I'm
here.
sorry.
It's okay.
It just starts with a T and it rolls off my tongue.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, so I think the first thing I'm going to say is, well, not the first thing, but on the subject, is this. Uh, you can literally craft with absolutely anything. Do you agree with me?
Hmm.
Junk. That's why I think the junk journal realm is kind of taking uh, precedence over a lot of other crafting styles because you could do absolutely everything: sewing, gluing, books, wrapping, like anyway, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there's so much that can go, free stuff that can go into your craft nowadays that I don't know that in the past was a thing. Was
Yeah,
it?
I no. I literally created an entire journal out of nothing but junk
Mm-hmm.
from start to finish. And I mean, the cover was I cut up an old shirt. You know what I mean? Like something
Yeah.
that was gonna not be used anymore. Um, you get junk mail all the time with
Yeah.
pictures
Yeah.
of all kinds of things. So yeah, you could absolutely. you could create, and you can do that in planners too. You
Yeah.
could cut out pictures of flowers or birds or dogs or whatever it
Yeah.
is, and put them in your planners. Actually,
And,
we have I want to say, somebody who follows us, one of our viewers, has done
mhm.
that before. She has posted cutouts of magazines in her planner, and it looks really good.
Well, I'm just going to interject and say when I started out in the decorative planning world, um, I used calendars.
Hmm.
You know, the calendars that have the pretty picture
Yeah,
up
they're
top? I
so
used
pretty.
that. I used, there was lots of things I put in my planner. I was not into the Instagram yet, so I had no idea about all the sticker companies and the, you know, well,
And then the
that,
rabbit hole.
and then, yeah, massive. It was like a, what is that? I just want to say a great big, not rabbit hole. It was a, what's that thing? What's that big thing?
um,
Cavern? Did,
sure, we'll go with
uh,
that.
okay, because it's
That's
not a
not what's
cave,
in
but
my
it,
head. Okay, we'll go with
no,
cavern. A well, a big well.
that's a great big gigantic one.
A
Anyway,
sinkhole.
um, a sinkhole. Oh yeah, that's even better.
Yeah,
That sounds
sinkhole.
better. So, but yeah, I used to do that kind of stuff all the time. I would cut around different stuff that I would get from like you said, mail or uh, oh God, all kinds of things. Washi
Hmm.
tape. I would put in ribbon. You know, if I had ribbon from something, I would put it in my planner. I would like, you don't need to buy all the things, friends.
Nope.
Okay.
So
And
I would start with what's around your house and what you already have. Shop your
yeah,
stash.
yeah,
Shop your stash. If you're on a budget, we all know we have had FOMO at one point or another, and we have
big
bought
time.
all the things. Okay, so first and foremost, shop your stash.
Yeah.
Second, shop your trash. You like how I did
Ooh.
that?
Did you stay up all night thinking about that? Is that why you didn't sleep? I knew it.
Yep, coming up with these clever things. Oh my gosh. No,
Yeah.
actually, that just popped into my head right in the moment.
We are on par today.
We are.
Like,
It's because of the typhoon.
yes, that's what it is. Oh, you're hilarious.
All right, so I listed two. Shop your
Yeah,
stash and shop your trash.
right.
Now you go.
And well, talk and not even talking about so when you put stuff together, you use the stuff that you have.
Yeah.
I have seen people do massive amounts of hauls. Like one girl that I have followed for, oh, I feel like since 2000. Okay. She's been doing it. And she's actually got me, she used to have a happy planner. And that's who got me hooked onto the happy planner and how to, decorative
Yeah.
plan my happy planner. Right. So, oh, and that's another thing. She would go to the dollar store and get the dollar store stickers and the this
Hmm.
and that, all that kind of stuff to use in your planner,
And they have even
which
better ones now.
yeah, it way better now. Before it was
Yeah.
all puffy shit. The puff and
Yes.
my planner was like yay thick by the time I was finished, right? But so yeah, there's that you could do too. But first and foremost, I want to say this. The people that are going out there and not pointing anybody out, but there's people out there like this girl that I watch all the time. She must do 2 hauls a week, but I never see her make anything with it. I
Yeah.
never see her make all the things that and she keeps talking about junk journal and because she's gotten into the junk journal. She watches some other, I can't remember who, but she watches somebody else. Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of the
Yeah.
glare.
I get that.
Um, she watches some other junk journal person. So she does a lot of junk journals with the little golden books that she gets from the dollar store.
Yeah.
So so she does all that. But I never see her make them. I never see her sit down and do a video on making it. You just see the end result in her packing it up to sell it. So I'm like, you're showing us all this stuff. Why can't you show us how to use it?
See that I will. Okay, I know we're kind of getting off topic, but I don't care. That
Are
is a
we?
pet peeve of mine. Oh, probably not. Or we're talking about,
We're crafting on a budget, and that's the
crafting on a
thing. She's
budget.
gone to dollar store, right? And she's
Yes. But my pet peeve is watching people who do nothing but hauls and then you never see them use the stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And the reason, as a YouTuber, as a content creator, it's aggravating. Okay, I've said my piece.
It's aggravating, but it's I guess what I want to bring it to the crafting on a budget thing is my point was to all of that is that you're not yeah, you could go buy stuff at dollar store, but show the people how to use the dollar store stuff.
Yes.
Do you know what I like if you want
Yes.
to do that, that's perfectly fine. But if you're trying to show people, well, you could go to the dollar store, or she used to call it, she calls it the dollar spot, or what do you call it there in the States? I don't.
Oh, well, if so, Target has a dollar spot.
Okay, so she talks about that a lot, and then she
Yeah.
talks about some other thing. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, she talks about a couple of shops that she goes to, but most of it is Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
And um, the problem is that and and even for me, like show me how to use that stuff that you've just picked up. Like
Right.
she'll pick up something and she'll go, oh, see that great for junk journaling, great for junk journaling. And I'm like, oh, really? How? Like I don't. So yeah, it's you're on a budget. You're going to the Dollar Tree and you're picking up stuff. In my case, it's Dollarama. Okay, you're picking up stuff that might help, but then you get it home and you don't know what to do with it. And that's a lot of people I see on the Facebook pages. They're like, okay, I bought this and this, but I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough people out there, content creators, who are doing these hauls and then showing people how to use that stuff that they've bought.
It's funny that you say that. That's the exact reason that I decided to do April as all vintage because a lot of people get caught up in buying all the vintage stuff, ledgers
Mm-hmm.
and photos and all of the things.
Yeah.
But then they're like, okay, but how do I use it?
How do I do it?
Right. So that's why I decided to do my series in April is all about the vintage.
Yeah.
Because it comes to find out it can be a bit challenging
It is,
to
it
to
does.
figure
It's,
out how to use all of that stuff.
but see,
Um,
that's the reason why you need people to do that sort of stuff.
yeah, to
Like,
show how to
okay,
use the odd things. We all know
right,
how to use a sticker book,
right.
but
So
how do you
my
use advertisements?
exactly. So my thing is um I'll do a haul here and there, right? And then, pretty much that weekend. So if I do crafting videos, it's usually on a weekend. I won't do it during the week because I do my planner stuff throughout the week. So um, I'll use that stuff that I've gotten
Hmm.
in the video so that I can talk about, okay, so last week I went to the Dollarama and, I got XYZ and I might show it and this is what we're going to do with it today. Or I got it off of Timu, or I got, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
tell, I don't know. I get it's not a bash towards the people doing
No.
hauls. It's not. It's just that I think when people are shopping on a budget and they're trying to get into the junk journal world or the crafting world, let's not label it junk journal, crafting, because it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be junk journals. They don't know how to use the stuff
Or the best way to use it or
or the best
whatever.
way to
Yeah.
use it or
That's
yeah, like just
I
great
do
ideas.
I don't even remember the last time I did a haul. I buy stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't, but it's not really a haul. If I waited for it to be a haul, it'd be forever because I buy a little bit here, a little bit there. If I
Yeah.
see something,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna get on there and be like, "Ooh, look at the three things I found." Which
Now,
brings me to my next location would be a thrift store.
yes, I was gonna touch on
You
that
can
too.
find a lot of amazing things to craft with
Yeah.
at a thrift store.
Yeah.
Um, so if you're into like the junk journaling, you can get clothes that have lace on them and just cut it up and you have lace, and it's way cheaper
Yeah.
to do it that way.
Yeah, because
So,
and there's all kinds of in thrift stores, there's vintage books that you could pick up, you know, $2 a
Yep.
piece. There's all kinds of buttons.
Yeah.
There's like you could just go crazy in a thrift store. Like we've got in a vicinity of for me, we've got right in town, we've got three, four thrift stores
Oh, that's good.
that I could go to if I wanted to. Then outside the town, there's others.
Hmm.
But it's an easy way to go in and spend. I think at most I've ever spent in any one thrift store was $20.
Yeah. And you
And
get a
I
lot of
came
stuff.
and I came home with like a ton of books, a whole bunch of lace, uh,
Jewelry.
jewelry to make
Hmm.
dangles, like all kinds of stuff. So I think the point to all that is yeah, you could go get cheap stuff, but then make sure you use it. Don't
Yeah.
just collect it because then you forget about what you have. And I think to me that's the most frustrating thing about the crafting part of my YouTube channel and enjoyment part is I have so much I don't know where it is anymore and I'm not utilizing the stuff that I have. So that frustrates me. And then it takes me down a notch in my creativity because in my mind, I'm thinking, I know I have something good for that. But then, what do I do? Pull everything out and start going through. Now, does that mean I'm not organized enough? I don't know, maybe. But, you know, maybe it's a prep thing beforehand. You prep, but I don't know about you, Steph, but
I
don't you find as
can't.
you're going through it, it's like, oh, you know what would go good with that? XYZ. And you don't think of that when you're prepping.
No, and that is my thing, and I've said it 1,000 times. I create in the moment. I know
Hmm.
what I'm creating. Let's say I'm creating a tag. We'll just keep it super simple. And I'm creating tags. I know that my base is probably going to be this, okay? But as I start adding stuff, I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, I have this piece of ribbon or this fabric, and things just start popping into my head that I don't pre-think. It's in the moment when I see it come together, that's when those ideas flood.
And I
So,
think I think videoing it is harder because if I was just sitting here creating stuff, I could get up and go look around and I wouldn't
I
care,
do.
right? But when I'm in the middle of a video and then I start compromising my creativity because I'm
Hmm.
trying to use what's around me versus, you
What
know,
you have.
good stuff that I have. So if I have any words of advice is, you know, be organized and use the stuff that you have. Don't just keep buying and buying and buying for the sake of buying it and collecting it. Use it too.
Yes,
So,
and I've started reorganizing my office. So so that's my craft desk over there. And I have a one five, six drawer cabinet beside me. And I had my lace over there. Now tell me why I had all my extra pens, pencils, glue, and the drawer right next to me, and what I need the most is across the room. Made no sense.
it's the same thing with these drawers here. I have four drawers beside me. And I swear to God, every single drawer has a the desk pen and
Yeah.
pencil. Three of them have that. For what? I don't need that many. I should clear those three out. The bottom one has some extra paper and whatever for my planners, but um, I
That's
should
ex
clear those out and then just put stuff in there that I could reach for quick.
Yes, that's exactly what I did. So all the drawers, I cleared all the drawers out. I put my lace over here. I put all my extra supplies over there because they're just extra. It's all the
Hmm.
extra glue sticks and the glue bottles and the Mod Podge and the stuff I don't use all the time, like my spray inks. I don't use those all the time.
Hmm.
So why are they next to me? But the lace and the ribbon that I want to use almost all the time was across the room. So stupid.
Yeah,
But I
I know.
did it. Nobody else did that. I did that. And then I had
But
to
see, I
undo
do
it.
have ribbon under my desk in one of those little pull-out
Hmm.
drawers from, I don't know, Walmart,
Yeah.
and they're so full they won't open. So I'm not struggling with that. I try and pull stuff out beforehand, like if I'm thinking I'm going to do a signature or you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
try and get, then I might pull some extra. But honestly, it just drives me crazy when I get busy and then I can't finish off or I can't. I think that's another thing too is when you're crafting and you're doing stuff, I hate doing part twos. I want to just finish it and be done with it and then move on to the next. It bothers me that I have to do a part two because I have to keep it, and I say have to. I don't have to do anything, but I want to keep the videos in the realm of what people are going to watch. And usually, you know, 20 minutes is tops. And even then, people cut out after 10.
Right.
So,
So what
so
I
yeah,
found for me is I've resigned myself. First of all, there's no way I could do a junk journal in one video. So if I'm gonna do like a series, and that's what I usually do is a series,
yeah,
even if it's only 3 or 4 videos, it's still a series, and it's because it's
yeah,
first step, second step, third step. So today
yeah,
we're gonna do the cover, get that all done. The next
yeah,
one we're gonna do all the signatures, and the next one we're gonna fill it up. Whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's a three-parter, but I'm calling it a series.
yeah,
And so, but I think that helps people if they are new or they need a refresher or they just want to see a different way to do something. They have a place to go for that.
yeah.
Because there's no way I could do it all. The thing is you're so used to being able to do your planner spreads, and then when it comes to creating is not that fast.
It's not that fast.
It's not.
No.
Not if
And
you're really just being creative,
yeah,
because that thoughts. I mean, just last night alone, when I was on my live, I was like, "Oh, I'm getting up and getting scrapbook paper and cutting it out, and that was not in my plan. That was
yeah,
not even in a thought.
right.
But in that moment, my creativity was like, "Oh, this would be perfect." You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So that's why it takes longer to be creative.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
And
see
that
your point.
goes that goes also to when you're organizing, however you have to do it. For me, if I'm organizing my items and I'm like, dang, I don't have any whatever. For the longest time, I had zero, zero black lace. I had every color under the rainbow, but I didn't have black. So as I'm organizing, I'm like, I don't have any black. I wrote it down. So
Yeah.
when I go, I make sure I get what I need and not try to go off of my memory and then buying all the lace and still don't have black because that's happened.
So I don't know if you've done this too, but have you been obsessed about finding something?
Oh, you have
Okay, so right
no
now,
idea.
my obsession, and it's quite frankly everything that I think about, I need to get my hands on some Edith Holden books. I am so obsessed by that one that you showed me, and then I was going to do a collab with another lady that wanted to use the Edith Holden botanical prints and whatever. I I can't even tell you how many stores I've popped into to see if there's a Edith Holden book there.
Yep.
Can't find it to save my life. I go on eBay, they want trillions of dollars for it.
Hmm.
Etsy, all the stuff. I've gone on Marketplace. It there's a one book that's $20. I thought, okay, you know what? I don't mind paying $20. 20 it's a lot still, but hey, whatever. To get my hand on one, right? And what do? I look down to see where it's some Ottawa somewhere. I'm not driving to Ottawa to get a book. So, yeah, anyway, the whole purpose of that, bringing that up, is the fact that you get so obsessed in trying to find something that when you're in the stores, you're missing a lot of
All
other
the
good
other
stuff.
stuff. Yes.
So be mindful of that when you're out for your craft supplies. Be mindful of, yeah, you have a list of what you want, but don't be so obsessed by it that you're missing everything else. You know what I mean?
No. And
Because
also make sure when you're getting what you want, it's the right thing.
What
because
do you mean?
I wanted a Rolodex, like the
Oh,
vintage Rolodex, because I want to start decorating Rolodex cards. Okay, so I got one and I love it. I have I don't think I think it's in the drawer. That's where it's supposed to be. The only thing in the whole room is where it's supposed to be. But
oh, I put it
it's a
away.
punch for the Rolodex, right? So it has the little same punch things, except it's the wrong size.
Oh,
So I have a punch, but I cannot use with this Rolodex.
can I see the hole?
The hole is fine. It's the spacing.
Yeah, I
So
know,
the
but you
punch
could
I
create
have.
your own, is what I'm trying to say.
So I did that with this one I did. I just need to kind of tweak it a little bit because I just used the mushroom punch from
Yeah,
yeah, I did that. So I
but you,
can, but I was so excited. I pulled out my little
yeah.
punch and it was wrong.
Okay, I just want to give you another little tip because you always give me tips and you probably know this. But you know the little hole punch?
Yeah.
Just use that and then cut up the middle of it where you
Yeah,
need your
that
space.
yeah, I can do that. And I could do that with the mushroom punch too. A point to
Oh,
that
okay.
was as I was so excited to get something that I wasn't paying attention to what size of something I needed.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I will
So
make it
that was
work,
that,
obviously.
yeah. But that's my big thing is I noticed the other day when I was out, again, I was out. Well, I wasn't out. I was at my daughter-in-law's market. So she has this little vintage. She's got a booth in a little vintage market. She collects vintage stuff and she sells it in this booth. And they had a big market, so hubby and I went up to support her and whatever. And in my looking around, I'm looking for the book. Like oh, they're gonna have an Edith Holden book here for sure. And I am up and down the aisles and looking in everybody's booth. Do you think I could? And then George says, "Did you find anything?" And I went, "No." And then I said, "But I'm gonna take a look again because I'm thinking, Lorie, you know, you're blinded, right?" And of course, I went in. I found so many cute little things, lace and doilies and all
Hmm.
kinds of stuff that I walked right past because my eyes were focused on finding this Edith Holden book. My Lanta, don't do that, friends. Okay, because I'm telling you, you get clouded by and you start missing all the goodies. So here we are telling you how to find goodies, and we're supposed to be talking about a budget,
But
but
that
yes.
could be a budget thing, you know?
Yeah. When you're in
And taking
markets
your
and yeah.
time
Yeah.
and not look okay, your Edith Holden book, for example, you see it on eBay and it's X amount, and you're not willing to spend that.
No.
That is the key to doing anything on a budget. Know what you're willing to spend and
Yeah.
don't compromise that.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like, I'm cheap. I am cheap. I cannot tell you how many things I have passed up on. I may have regrets later, but I'm not paying that price because
Yeah.
it's not worth it. No matter
Yeah.
how bad I want it, it's not worth that price. I have passed
Especially
things
for
up.
crafting. Especially for
Yes.
crafting. It's different if you're buying something for your house and you think, okay, it's a little bit out of my range, but I really want it for the backyard or I want, you know what I mean? That's
Yes,
different.
that
But
is
to stand
different.
there and say, yeah, I'm going to spend $50 on a Edith Holden book just because I want to rip some pages out and put it like what
Yes,
kind of
because I
crazy
want to tear
person?
it
I
up.
want to tear it apart and put it in a journal. Like, come on now. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
So I know
just
my limit,
no.
but I
Hmm.
do know that it is
Obsessive.
has so obsessive.
Well, I
Like,
mean, and I've told this story before, and you can't really see them, but the carousel that holds the old wood stamps,
yeah,
2 years. 2 years I obsessed over finding those. And I could have gone to eBay. I wasn't paying the price on eBay. eBay wanted like 70 something dollars for them. I wasn't doing it. I wanted to find them in the wild and I wanted to find them cheaper. And I did.
yeah.
And so for 2 years, I searched high and low for these things. And one day we find three of them. And yes, I bought all three of them. because they were a price I was willing to pay,
Yeah.
and it made me happy. And they
Now,
all had stamps.
so, I know we're talking about the budget here and whatever, but, and I know your answer to this, but maybe some people listening might not know. So I'm going to ask you anyway.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell you my view on it, okay? Do do you find the hunt the best part of buying uh stuff for your crafting?
Yes.
The hunt for it? You do.
Yes, I do.
I knew you did. See, I
I
don't.
love the thrill of the hunt.
See,
Finding
yeah.
something that I've been looking for or whatever. Um, yeah, I absolutely love the
See,
thrill of the
I
hunt.
don't like it at all. I get pissed off when I don't find something I want.
Okay, I'm not saying I don't get irritated because I can't find it and it's
Yeah.
taking so long. Um, but I do love when I go into I went to a thrift store not too long ago and they had another one of those carousels for like $2.
Oh,
Insane. That is an insane price, but it was at a thrift store versus an antique shop. And that's another
yeah.
thing. So let me hit on that
Yes.
really quick. Okay. If you are on a budget, now you can find deals at antique shops. I have people, booths going out of
Yeah.
business. Um, things are on sale. People don't really realize what they have, and so it's cheaper. So you can find cheaper things at an antique shop, but it's not the norm. Okay. So if you're on a budget, obviously go peruse the antique shops because you never know, but just know that those are much pricier than a thrift store. Uh, because an antique shop it specializes in antiques, like the older things, and
Hmm.
those can be a little
Yeah.
pricier. If things get donated to the thrift store, those they don't know what they have, and so you can find it much cheaper,
Yeah.
generally speaking, at a thrift store than you can at an antique vintage shop. So
Very
just
true.
keep that in mind. But yes, I love the
Now,
thrill of the hunt.
we also have a shop called uh, what's it called? Habitat for Humanity. So what
Mm-hmm.
it is, it's like, well, do you have that there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have where people donate stuff. It's like a thrift shop. A lot of it is for uh,
The house
the
building
house
outside
building and all kinds of
hardware.
trinkets like hardware and whatever. But they do have a section that has, and I found a lot of my jewelry there to make dangles
Mm.
because they sell it for $1. So you get this great big beaded necklace for $1 or earrings or brooches. I find brooches are really good because you can cut the backing off of the brooch and glue it onto your journal, and there's all kinds of things. So yeah, there's plenty of things that you could use at a thrift store. And
And
it doesn't have to say thrift. Like
no.
watch what you're doing when you're, because to be honest, I never thought of going into the Habitat for Humanity
Mm-hmm.
or what we call the re-store, right? We call it the
Yeah.
re-store. So it's repurpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have sorry, my fan is blowing these papers over here and it keeps freaking me out because it looks like a person. Anyway,
A wood cockroach.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Um,
I
so
got the heebie-jeebies for you. Never mind.
we here in Texas, and I actually know there are some in other states too. We have craft reuse stores.
No way.
Yes, it is a reuse store and is nothing but crafting stuff. I
Wow.
I'm talking vintage photos. I'm talking slides. I'm talking postcards. I'm talking pens, pencils, notebooks, because it's also really good for teachers. A lot of teachers go there and get extra supplies for their classrooms. Yarn out the wazoo, material, fabric. I mean, I cannot even tell you all the stencils, stamps, craft, every craft. I found Tim Holtz stuff. I have found all kinds of things, Stamperia,
Wow.
papers, like just all these name brand things and it's all donated and it can be pretty cheap. I found
Yeah,
all
I
my
can imagine.
flashcards there. I found the credit card, the duplicated credit card things that I used in the vintage journal. I found the whole stack of those there, 25 cents.
Yeah.
So look up reuse craft stores and see if
Yeah.
there's one near you. It is worth a drive. So when I went to Kitty and I went somewhere in our travels and I looked it up and there was one, it was a little bit out of the way from where we were going. We don't care. We're just traveling. And so we went, and then I went back again when Rochelle and Lisa came down and took them to the craft, and we just hours in that store.
Yeah.
Because you have to dig. I'm not gonna lie, you have to dig. They'll have totes just full of stuff. You don't know what's in the tote. I was pulling totes down off and pulling them down, digging through it. But yeah, it's a thrill of the hunt.
Yeah. See, that's for me, it's not. If I go into a vintage shop or a thrift store and I'm walking around and I don't find what I really want, like I go into these thrift shops and I look for lace, doilies, handkerchiefs, stuff that you could put in your junk journals. No. So I have to suffice by getting material that I can cut up like a savage or, but there's so many other things. I go into the book section and there's, try and find botanical books and all it is gardening books.
Yeah,
It's not like the, uh,
Edith Holden.
like Edith Holden. God,
Because you are hooked on that.
I'm so hooked on that. And yeah, I mean, I will probably be to the moon and back happy if I ever did find one. I'm not holding my breath though that that will ever happen because I really don't think anybody would get rid of those. They'd be, I don't know.
But I've seen on other Facebook groups, look what I found at my thrift store. Look what I found at Goodwill. And it's an Edith Holden book.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how
Me
many I've
too.
been in
I've
to try
never
and
seen
find
one.
them. Never. So that's frustrating when you're trying to find stuff to put. Like, I'm so badly want to do a botanical journal, and that's what I want to use it for. And do you
Hmm.
think I could find anything remotely like it even? That's why I'm looking for gardening books because I'm thinking,
Yeah.
okay, if I can at least find what do they call those? The hand drawn or the
Yeah, like the sketch.
sketch or whatever,
Hmm.
then I'll be happy. I'll be able to put that in there, no problem, right? But yeah, no, that's what I want that. That's
Yes.
is that not
I'm
it's
the same
really
way.
obsessive thought process and it really kind of stifles you in your
Yes.
creativity because you have that in your head and that's the way it's going to be. It's the same thing with I'm thinking of this other journal that I want to do, but do you think I could find some of the things that I want to go with it? Can't find it. And I'm not doing one until I find what I want
What do
because
you want?
I'm not going to say, okay, because I don't want to get into that. But
Okay.
I it's just I'm trying to make a point that you're on a budget and I'm not going to go out and buy whatever at, at stupid amounts of money just to make this happen. I'm going to find it, but until then, I'm not creating it. And uh, you know,
I
it's kind of,
understand that.
I think it stifles me, this thought I have of sticking to what, like you can't just waver, just go off the side a little bit. You can't. I don't know what it is with me. I, I don't know what kind of crafter that is. Is it
Obsessive.
short-sighted? Sure. What is that? I don't know. But
No,
anyway,
but you have and creative people, that's why they get a creative block. You know what I mean? Because they
mhm.
have this image, they have this thing in their head, and they can't do it for
I
whatever
can't get
reason,
past it. I can't get
whether
past
they don't
the
have the
yeah,
supplies or the time or whatever it may
yeah,
be.
yeah,
But yeah, you can't. That's a creative thing. It's
yeah.
actually normal.
Oh, good. I'm normal for
You
once.
are. I'm claiming you as normal.
Yay.
Another place that you can shop is different websites. Okay, and I'm going to do a
Mhm.
shameless plug here as an example. All right. So if you like using napkins in your crafts, I sell 25 napkins for $5. You're not going to find
Yeah.
that anywhere. You're not going to find 25 napkins for $5, different ones.
Yeah.
You can get a
Yeah.
pack of all the same,
Yeah.
right? I also have die cuts that
Yeah.
are cheap. I have a bargain bin. So yeah, I'm shamelessly plugging my website because, well, this is my podcast and I can do what I want. But there are other websites. When you go to other websites, see if they have a clearance or a sale or a whatever.
Yeah.
Go there first. That's what I do. Anytime I go on any website, I always
Yeah.
go to the cheap stuff first because if I can find it there, I don't even care about what else is on there. I found
Yeah.
what I'm looking for and I move on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So that's just
Definitely. The dollar
that's just
stores are
another
a
thing.
great
Oh
way
yeah.
to find stuff too. Um, I don't really pick up. I used to be big on Michaels, but here Michaels is way too expensive. And to be honest, they
I
don't
agree.
have the Tim Holtz anymore here. They don't have the scrapbook paper pads. They're all the
Mm-hmm.
same garbage.
Yep.
It's nothing good. No, nothing's double sided. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I figure, why do I even go in there? It's 10 times more money, and I'm not getting anything I want really. So I don't even go into Michaels anymore. Big waste
I
of money.
I don't go unless I'm looking for something very specific and I've looked up online and they have it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not. Because even their clearance, they do not understand clearance. Michael's will be the next craft store going out of business here because they do not
Yeah.
understand the prices. They're wrong. Let
Okay.
me just, they're
Well,
wrong.
listen, you can say you guys are the epitome of clearance, okay? And discounts. And I've seen I've seen times when you guys in this, and I say you guys, I mean the United States, will have a new release of Happy Planner stuff. And then the next day I'm seeing people, oh, Michael's is having a 25% off of Happy Planner stuff. I'm thinking, the stuff just went out. We don't see percentages off. We don't see
No.
discounts. We don't see any of that stuff. So for me to go into a Michael's, it has to be something I really like now.
Hmm.
So I'm past that because that's where everybody used to shop when I was coming up in the crafting world and whatever.
Yeah.
It's like Michael's, you need to go craft scrapbook paper, Michael's, Michael's, Michael's. We don't have Hobby Lobby, so I'm stuck to Michael's.
Yeah, yeah. All y'all have is Michael's.
But now I go to Amazon. If I want double-sided paper, I go to Amazon and I order it from Amazon
Yeah.
because I'm not playing with them anymore. You
No, I
can't
don't blame you.
you
No.
don't get anything different than you do if you just shopped around for it.
And you
It's
get
a,
exactly what you want if you shop around.
exactly.
If you're
Yeah.
going into Michael's, you're settling at
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. Well, because you get there and you think, okay, well, I don't see what I want. Well, this is cute. Okay, I'll get that. Meanwhile, you don't even really need it. You
No.
don't you're not going to use it. If your project calls for double-sided paper, then and I know someone will say, "Oh, you have to." I can hear in the comments right now. Well, just put two pieces of paper together. It's
It's
like
too
that's not what
thick.
I want to do. I don't want to stencil the back of it. I want a double-sided piece of paper. Simple.
You want it to be exactly what it needs to be from the out the gate.
Exactly. I don't want to create, well, what do they say? Reinvent the wheel. Well, you're going crazy on that thing
Okay,
back there.
so oh, you talk about that?
Yeah, yeah, I just seen it from
I
last night.
know.
You've done
So
a lot.
I was painting it and I got tired. I was like, I'm done because I painted the sides and whatever. But that's how I cleaned my brush. I was like,
Oh,
I mean, I cleaned it with water, but to get all the,
yeah,
excess
yeah.
out, so I just did that and then cleaned it with water. So that's why it looks like that. I will finish it this week sometime. Um, dang it, I was gonna say something.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It'll come back, maybe.
Well, it wouldn't if it was me.
Well, it probably won't. Anyway, keep talking, it might come back.
Um, so what else was I going to say about the budget thing? Now, this is girl math, okay? Just because you go into a thrift store and something's a buck doesn't mean you can go and buy, $50 worth of buck stuff
Right? It's
because
still
it's
$50.
still $50. So if you have in mind of the things that you want and you think you can get it for under $5, then that's the place for you. But you're still getting it cheaper. But my point is sometimes you think, oh, it's just a buck. But then, yeah, you go, oh, I'm going to get that. And I'm going to get that. Before you know it, you've walked out of there and you spent $20, right?
Yep. So I
Be,
have a
be
very
prepared.
unpopular opinion.
Oh, good. I love drama.
Sometimes it is cheaper to buy something already made than to buy all the stuff to make that one thing.
Mhm.
And that being said, and I'm just gonna go for example, dangles, glue bottle dangles, the big dangles, right? Because it takes so many different items, and those items you can't buy you can't buy one straight
Yeah, you
thing. You
have
can't
to
buy
have a whole
one
tray of beads.
yeah.
Yeah,
So sometimes if you're on a budget and excuse me, you want a certain thing, sometimes it is cheaper just to buy the one that's already made versus making it yourself.
yeah,
Um, and I
that's
know
true.
that is an unpopular opinion. And, we talked about this in a previous podcast, make it or buy it. No, what was it?
Yeah. No, it was
Uh,
I
do it
can't remember.
yourself or buy it. I don't remember
I'm
what it
gonna
was.
look. DIY or
Oh, DIY or buy.
buy.
So
Yeah.
that's what it was. So, you know, and I talked about how I can make my own t-shirts. I just don't. I don't want to have all the things to do that. I would rather just go buy a
But I
t-shirt.
think that's the difference. I think people might want that stuff. A lot of people are like, say, the crafter in you. They
Hmm.
want to make it. They don't
They
want to
do.
buy it. But then there's others out there that admire the stuff and they don't want to make it. So yeah, you can still buy it from
Yes.
someone who does make them.
But my point was, is if your budget doesn't, you could, anybody can make a
Yeah.
dangle. That
No, I
anybody can make
totally
that.
agree with you. But if your budget doesn't allow you to go buy
Yes.
all the stuff
Right.
for it,
Then it is cheaper for
yeah,
you to, until you get to that point to
yeah,
be able to do that, right? Like, I don't want to discourage anybody from making anything.
no,
And
for
it's not
sure.
about, oh, buy for me, pick me. It's not
Yeah,
even
no,
about that. But as someone who has bought all the things,
right.
it is ridiculously expensive. And it's not just about, oh, I have all the things. Now I have to have a place for all the
Yeah,
things.
yeah, it's
So now
true.
it's more storage and more space. And so it goes beyond, you know,
Yeah,
um,
it's
because it
true.
also becomes addictive in the sense of, oh, I want more. I want, oh, look at that strand of beads. Oh, look at that. So now you're becoming a collector of something else
See, and
again.
that's where I am right now with books. So when I go and look for books to make junk journals out of, I'm looking at the paper that's inside it. I'm looking at the cover and I'm thinking, oh, that's going to make a beautiful junk journal and I'll get it.
Hmm.
I have so many books in here right now and I'm not making enough junk journals to go through those books. So now I have to decide when I go into a shop that it's one book and one book, unless it's Edith Holden, then that's all
Yes.
on its own. But a different one, it's if it's one, it's got to be the best one out of the bunch. Pick one. It's not going to be three or five or seven that I walk out with. Like I walk into a thrift store with three bags. Like who does that, right? As you go, I see you brought your own bags. I said, yeah, well,
I have a
I'm used to
problem.
bringing my bags. Us here in Canada can't go anywhere. I think almost feel like sometimes when you go to the hospital, make sure you bring a bag with you in case you have to take something home. I don't know how it works, but
Another thing too is know your style
yeah.
and don't buy things just because it's cheap. If you're not going to use it, you still
Hmm.
wasted money. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, Just because something is 25 cents doesn't mean you have to buy it. If
Yeah.
you're not going to use it, if it's not your thing,
Yeah.
um, don't get it because that's
And
25 cents
and
you can get on
yeah,
something you really
because
want.
you see a lot of haulers out there. They'll haul stuff and they'll, show on their video that they got this and they'll go, I'm sure I could use this in a junk journal some way. So you have no idea what you're going to use it for. You picked it up because you thought it was a good idea,
And cheap.
right? And you've yet to use one that I've watched. And I'm talking about that girl that I watch all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it just it's like, she's so talented. Just show what you do.
Yeah, I don't
Show
understand.
how you put it together. It
Yeah.
makes no sense to me.
Another tip I have is, and this may be another unpopular opinion, and it's a very personal opinion of mine, is don't buy grab bags. If you don't know what you're getting
Grab bags of what?
of
What do you mean?
anything, like mystery bags or mystery boxes. Like, okay, my napkins are a grab bag. It's a grab bag. You get 25 different napkins. It's see-through. You can see some of the napkins, right? So you know what you're getting. But people, okay, I'm just gonna say this, the $5 Michael boxes. Why? You have
Oh,
no idea what you're getting in those boxes.
we
And
don't
I'm
have
saying if
Michael.
you're on a budget, do
Yeah.
you? But if you're on a budget, that's not that $5 you could buy something you actually
Well,
want, actually know what it is.
those grab bags or boxes or mystery, whatever you want to say, is usually last season's leftovers.
Yeah. And you're going to end
So,
up with stuff that you don't like, can't
yeah,
use, whatever. It's not worth it. If you're on a budget, it's not worth spending that money on the
yeah,
unknown.
yeah,
Save that money and put it towards something that you know,
yeah.
right? Like I don't do mystery anything. If I don't know what I'm getting, I won't do it. I don't care if I have watched 20 people get the most amazing things on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
I am not taking that chance with my money
Yeah.
because I'll end up with things that are too bright or things that, just not my aesthetic. They may be beautiful things. They may be beautiful sticker books. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's not my aesthetic, I still have beautiful sticker books that I'm never going to use.
Yeah.
So it's not worth it to me to do. And especially if you're on a budget to go get surprise stuff.
Do you
Because
have
then
somebody's house rolling down the street? What's happening?
no, I somebody opened the door, I was trying to figure out who it was.
Oh, in your house?
Yeah, I mean Kenny's home, it was probably him.
Oh,
I just heard the front door. Anyway,
oh.
because everything is right there by
Yeah, no,
my
I know.
ear. So
I usually hear it too. Doesn't it like ring a little bit?
yeah, yeah, but the thing is, I think with the headphones on, they're
Oh,
like it
okay.
cancels out more of the sound.
Gotcha.
Uh more riveting podcast
Riveting conversation.
information. So that's all I'm saying is I mean, I personally don't like surprises anyway, but if I'm gonna spend money, I want to know what I'm spending my money on,
Yeah, no, I
especially if
agree
I'm
with
on a
that.
budget. So
Yeah.
that's my take on that. Just be careful getting wrapped up in, oh, they got this, and to me it's like gambling. I'm
But
not a good gambler
yeah,
either.
there's some shops out there that offer that sort of thing, mystery bundles and all that. If I really like their shop, I will get it because no matter what's in that bundle, I like their stickers, I like their stuff, so it's okay. But you're right. The randomness of different things, no, I don't play that game either.
Mm-mm.
Now I know Live Love Posh has a release coming out, or I think it's out already, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's what's the date today? Yeah, I think it's today. But anyway, she has what's called mystery bundles. But
Mm-hmm.
in the bundles, she's listed what's there. So it's not really a mystery,
Right. She
right?
just
So you're
that's her
seeing,
way of getting rid of overstock.
yeah.
So she's just bundling it
No,
all
this is a
together.
new release.
Oh, I
This is
see.
a new release that she's just named uh, like mystery bundles.
Oh.
And I don't even know if that's the word. I'm going to shut up because apparently I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Anywho, what I'm trying to say is there's bundles of but you can take the releases and put them in different places. So you
Oh,
could
yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah.
make it your own type of thing.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Anyway, I don't know. Go find out for yourself, friends.
But I got that way too. So here's another tip if you're on a budget. Let's say, and I'm this is something I did. Sorry, this is really hurting my ear for some reason. Um, let's say, and I'm gonna go to we'll go sticker book or regular book. So whether you're a decorative planner or a junk journal and it's a book, okay? If I'm not gonna use at least 75% of whatever's in that book, I will not buy it.
Hmm.
I don't care how much I like the 25% that I like. If there is not 75%, I'm not gonna buy it.
Yeah,
Because then I just sit here with 75% of the book is full and I've only used the 25% that I liked.
yeah,
That's not money smart. That's not budget friendly to
yes,
buy something that you're only using 25% of. So
yeah.
if I'll flip through it and if I know I'm not going to use at least 75% of anything, I'm not going to buy it.
And my thing is when you're starting out, start out small. Get a few
Hmm.
things, a few you know core things that you need. And there's videos out there telling you the top 10 things to have. Top 10 things to have in your little arsenal there so that you could do a craft, whether it be a mini junk journal or tags or whatever the case may be. And it's the same thing with planner. If you're a decorative planner, you could go into any dollar store and get stickers for, $1.25 or whatever it is, and make a good spread out of them. So you don't really need, you know, all the bells and whistles just to start off with. Because, like Steph said, you find your little niche, you find what you think you're going to be really liking, and then that's when you start gathering stuff that you need for that scenario. And then you branch out from there. But in the beginning, you don't need to
Take
collect
it
all the
slow.
stuff because then what you're going to be overwhelmed and you're not going to do anything. You're
And I'm
not going
also
to
going to say
create.
you're probably going to have a lot of regret.
Yeah, you're not going to create anything.
Another tip I have is do not get caught up in all the hype of one thing. Okay? And I'm gonna
Like an Edith Holden book. Don't do it. Everybody stop
okay.
looking for them so I can find it.
No, I'm talking about let's just say um and I don't want to call names because it's not that company's fault or issue. This is a me problem. But there was a certain washi tape company and I got caught up in all the hype of everybody. Oh, have to have them all. Look at these colors. I don't have this color. I don't have that. So I bought them all like a dumb butt.
Well, I'm going to call them out because I can.
You can do
I
whatever
I
you
was a
want.
I was a PR for them, and I think it was Narrative Hughes,
Yes.
aka Girl Boss Anna.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think they're a thing anymore. I
Oh,
don't think
maybe
she
not.
does it. I
I
haven't
don't
seen
know.
her in the community for a long
But
time.
and
So
there's nothing wrong with her stuff. That had
no,
nothing to
no,
do with it. Quality
no.
was great. They were beautiful. I got caught up and have to have them all. It's not
Yeah,
Pokemon people. You don't have to catch them all, okay?
yeah, yeah,
And guess what? I have them all.
yeah. Me too.
And I mean
Doubles,
I don't use them. Yeah, I don't use them.
doubles of
Because
them.
it's not my thing anymore. You grow, you change, you
Yeah,
evolve, whether
yeah,
it's planning or crafting or whatever. And if you get caught up in all of the right now things, those right now things change, and now you're stuck with all the right now things,
yeah,
and there's something else happening, right? So just be careful and don't get caught up in having everything and all of everything because that's not budget friendly, and that's just my
yeah.
opinion.
I agree. Very good advice.
Because
But
I
you
mean
know what?
I've
Sometimes it's easier to listen to the advice than to take it
oh
because
yeah, Oh, I'm sure people are listening to this going, "Oh, that's such a good idea." While
Yeah.
they're like they're listening and then they're like,
Oh,
scrolling
look at
through
that washi
Amazon.
tape. I'm gonna get what? A mystery bag of washi tape? I'm in.
Right? Click add to cart. But
Yeah.
I mean, this is just, obviously it's advice based on my personal
Yeah, me
experiences. And
too.
if it
Me
can
too.
help somebody, I did the same thing with pens. Okay. I love pens. All right. But you can only write with one at a time.
Yeah. And half the pens I
And
have dried out or gone. Like
I
they're
do like a
useless.
pretty pen, but the thing is I can still only, and then storage, and it's just nobody else sees them. I
Yeah.
don't see them because they're all in a drawer because storage. So why did I buy a bunch of these decorative pens why?
Yeah, I know.
That got caught up. I got caught up in the hype. I got caught up in, oh, look, and they are beautiful. That's the thing is they are so beautiful. I
Yeah.
love them. I love to look at them. It's just if you're on a budget, it's not budget friendly.
No. No. Stick to what you really want, and those things aren't,
No,
it is get one. No one says you can't have one just to have a pretty pen, but you don't need the whole collection. Like
no, because
there's
they will
there's
always have
pen
more
there's pen shops out there that have a Christmas collection and you know,
every
oh, it's autumn,
holiday.
so here's a pumpkin pen and you know what I mean? Before you
Yep.
know it, you're buying every single pen on the face of the earth from this group, and you don't even use half of them.
No,
I'm gonna show you right now one that I did. I got suckered in. Let me just no, just to prove a point, because sometimes people need to see, right? This one. What is this one called? I can't even remember what this pen's called.
hold it up. That's a pen gem.
Is that a pen gem?
Yep, that's a pen gem.
Are you sure?
Doesn't have a
Usually
gem at
pen.
the top.
No, it has an A.
Oh, I don't know what it is then.
Okay, let me get another one. Here's one. This one. See, I don't even know what this one is. This one is I can't see. It doesn't even tell you who they're from.
Look on the clip. Oh no, isn't that the Angel Shop or whatever it's
That's
called?
it.
Yes,
The
that's
Angel
that's what
Shop.
those are from, the Angel Shop.
Yeah. Okay. So all these are from the Angel Shop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Okay. I
remember
just
now.
can we just I need just to show you what kind of an obsession we got going on here. Okay. This is just some of them. Some of them. Okay. This was a winter one. This is like a Christmas one with all the confetti and the da 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 da. Oh, this is a baking one. Oh, looky. Right? Canada. Like, oh, I had to get that. It's Canadian flag in there. Friends, you don't need them. You
And there's
want one?
nothing wrong with them. And
No,
and if
there
it makes you,
isn't.
we're not saying not to, y'all don't have to
Uh,
do a thing we say,
no,
right?
I'm not.
We're just
Listen,
here to give thoughts and ideas on being mindful of your budget. Whatever that
yes.
is. Your budget could be $1,000, it could be $2.
And
Right?
that's what
And you
I'm
still have
trying to
to
get.
apply the
Yeah.
same concept regardless of what your budget is. You still have to apply the same concepts, right?
And that's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, do I have a lot of them? I do. So I know what I'm talking about when I say, yeah, they're pretty. And yes, go ahead, get one if you want. Or if you like that line, get that one. You know what I mean? You don't need to have all of them if your budget is, don't take your budget and throw it out the window just because you got
Can.
that FOMO,
Mm-hmm. And
right?
that's what it is. And
It is
I get
real.
it. FOMO is real.
Yeah.
And I just have to ignore it. And it passes. So here's another thing. It really does pass.
Oh yeah, because before you know it,
Uh
there's a new release.
yeah. And then you're like, oh, I'm glad I didn't get that. That
Yeah.
ugly thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Right?
so just but my best piece of advice, and this will help with your budget, is know what you like and don't waver.
Hmm.
Don't don't get something just because it's on sale.
Right.
Stephanie. Don't get something just because you might use it. Okay. I used to do that. Oh, I could use this if I know what I like and I know what I will and I won't use.
Right.
Okay. Like I have crochet doilies. Um, because they're so beautiful and they are. But if they
Hmm.
have lumps on them, if it's the kind that has like the big puffy crocheted flowers, I won't buy those anymore. As
No.
beautiful as they are,
Yeah.
because they're not conducive to how I craft and to what I do. Does
Hmm.
that make sense? So
Totally.
yeah, you're gonna see a lot of beautiful things that you could use. You could use anything. But if you know yourself well enough, you'll know that is beautiful and I could use that, but I won't. So let someone else have that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna move on and save that money for that.
Yeah.
And I've got
Very
that way
true.
with books. Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful vintage books in all the different languages. I only need so many, and when I get dwindled down and I need more, I can go get more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't
Oh,
have to
I
get them all
I
right now.
totally hear you.
So just those are little thoughts
Yeah.
to stay on a budget and to shop cheaper. So I think that's all I got.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I
we
think
did
I
good.
think I think we helped a lot of people today. I feel like
We did. Are you ready to go shopping?
good job, Laura. Let's see if hubby will take me to a thrift stop.
Right? Honey, let's
Thrift
go thrift
shop.
shopping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, one more thing. Okay, because some people don't know this, and I don't know if this works in Canada, so I only can speak for here. Um, if you're in a vintage shop, thrift shop, whatever, not Goodwill. Goodwill is not the big ones, but like what is the word I'm looking for? An individually owned, not a big company. You can haggle. Okay.
Yeah.
You can ask them, hey, will you take $20 instead of 30? Because
Yeah.
the worst case scenario is they say, no, I can't do that. You already know you're willing to pay the 30.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But you can here for sure haggle your prices. They're not
Yeah,
set
for
in
sure.
stone.
Yeah.
So that's
Totally.
another way you can save money. And don't be afraid. I mean,
And
be
I
bold.
I I just learned that from you. I never tried that. I just if they say $15, it's like, okay,
No,
$15. Never thought
now
to,
some things I know that it's a good price and that's it. But like one of my Coca-Cola boxes that had the bottles went in,
hmm
somebody wanted like 35, $40 and asked if they would take 20. And they're
hmm
like, "Yeah, we'll take 20." Okay. So I just saved myself $15.
Yeah.
And girl math means I now have an extra $15 I can
There
go
you go.
spend somewhere else.
See? Okay. So point in our point is you got to use your girl mouth,
Yeah,
friends.
yeah, yeah. Use it. Use the girl math. But yeah, you
Yeah.
can haggle prices. The worst case scenario is they say no.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Very true.
but a lot of times because they want to get rid of this stuff, they'll say yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very nice. Well,
okay.
go forth and craft on a
And
budget.
on a budget.
On a budget.
Bye
Bye,
guys.
friends.